Hi everyone, Shashank Gupta, your friend, your mentor at iQuanta. We have come today with error spotting. Now, when we talk in terms of English, of course, it has got vocabulary, but it also has grammar, right? And when we talk about entrances, there are very few papers that would not have error spotting. So, it is a very important topic we have. Let's see what is there. How to go about with this. So basically, when we talk in terms of errors, we need to be very sure about what kind of errors are there basically. So I've gone through plenty of them, and what I've seen is basically that errors are basically based on some basic errors are there, like subject verb agreement is important to us, then the use of preposition is important. Okay, then there is noun, we need to work on that, nouns, fine. And there are tenses, articles, fine. Even sometimes there are like some special cases, as in how to use your grammar correctly, fine. So with these thought process, what we are going to do is we are going to start with our classes about spotting the error. Let's hope you understand the things. It would also come to you uh, as a surprise that there have been so many things that you have studied till now, but somehow when we come across and start studying for entrances, these things change a lot. Okay, so keeping that in mind, let's come across. Next, when we talk about errors, there are many aspects to it. A question based on error. First thing, it can be a single error that is to be found, or it can be errors. So, more than one error or more than one part having the error can be there. Now, what has happened is many a time we would see that they would ask which of the following options is or are correct. So even they can even ask you that which one is correct rather than asking which one is not correct. Okay, so beware and try to understand what the question is asking. Instructions are important for us. You need to read them and then accordingly give the answer. Okay, so let's come across to the first question of the day. It is, neither the teacher nor the students was present in the hall. Okay, I'll just add something more out here. Remember, E part is no error. So if you don't find any error out here, you can simply write down no error. You can hit the E part as well. But as soon as I see this, what I used to do or what I believe you should do is, first thing that you have to check, what was the very first thing that I said? You need to check your SVA, subject verb agreement. So keeping that in mind, we'll catch hold of the verb first. What is the verb? The verb is was. Okay. Now when I say was can also be written as were. Yeah. So there are two options out here. The alternate to was is were. Was is used for singular and were is used for plural, right? So first thing, I got the verb. Now I need to check its subject. So when I saw the subject for this was, I saw it was written as neither the teacher nor the students. Okay, which means it's a complex structure, and we need to see how it goes about. Because when I see the teacher is singular, and students is plural. So which one would I follow? So always remember, the rule is whenever we use conjunctions like not only or but also, so this is a combination, not only but also, or we would use either or it can be neither nor. Fine. So these kind of expressions, these kind of conjunctions, whenever they are used, always remember the verb will agree to the nearest subject. Okay? The verb will agree to the nearest subject. Let's come back to this. The verb was given across. The verb is was. How many subjects are there? Basically, two subjects are there. One is teacher, the other is students. Now, which one is written the nearest? Is it the teacher? No. It is the students, right? So, because students is written out here, and as per students, was has to be were. So, which means the problem is with was and the error is in part C. As you could see, when I did this question, the most important part for me was because generally in error, we just read the thing and we say like, okay, it feels like this can be the answer, and we just tick it without thinking what can be the reason behind it. So I would always suggest, because in the paper they are not going to ask you what is the error, right? But I always prefer that I find the answer out there. Because if I know what is the answer out there, I would be justified. I would be sure what am I doing. So out here, I knew that C part was wrong because was wrong out here, and therefore, as per students, it should have been were present. So this time, I'm accurate. Am I clear with this? Let's go to the next question. The next question says, she insisted to go to the party even though she was unwell. Fine. Keeping that in mind, look into it. Tell me, do you find anything wrong out here? Or this might be a correct sentence. Can it be? She insisted to go to the party. Okay. Now the thing out here is, look at it. I insist dash, and then there is the object or verb, whatever it is. What is it that you would do out here? So when I use insist, it uses the preposition on. I insist on doing this. And with prepositions when the verb comes, the verb has to be in ing form. The verb has to be in ing form. And that's why if I look at it, she insisted. So with insisted, I cannot have to. So I have to write, instead of to, I have to write on. And when I write on, I cannot write go after it. What do I have to write? I would have to write going. She insisted on going to the party even though she was unwell. And that's why the answer has to be B. Okay. So guys, one thing more, like you need to understand that first thing we learned that for accuracy, you need to know what is the answer out there, what should be the correct form, correct technicality that is to be used out there. But other than that, we also learned that when we have this kind of a question, many students have told me that, sir, I could guess the answer because when I read it, it did not seem right. Okay. So I have an answer for you. I have a situation for you. See, this is a basic sentence, right? So you can easily understand the meaning of the sentence. Many a time the sentence would be complex. Many a time the sentence would be complicated. In that case, what would happen? In that case, if you don't make out, if you don't understand what is the meaning of the sentence, how would you, that special magic in you would work? It would not. So that's why what I really want is, I really want that you don't learn the rules, but it maybe it becomes a part of you. But I would say that even after that, you should know that what is going wrong out there. Okay, there has to be a reason behind it. So you always work on that reason, and it would be easier for you. Okay, right. Let's move on. No sooner had he entered the room when the lights went out. So these are like, these are special cases. Any point of time when you see no sooner, okay, not only, let's have something, okay? Like we have got words like hardly, scarcely, barely, rarely, seldom, okay? This is one pocket. Let's have another. Not only, either, neither. Yeah. Similarly, no sooner. And there are more to it, right? I'm just giving an example out here. Whenever you have these kind of thought process in a sentence, okay, what is it that you're going to search? So they all are somehow maybe an adverb or a conjunction, something like that, right? Hardly, scarcely, barely, rarely, seldom. Whenever this comes across in your sentence, one thing is for sure, if there is another sentence coming after, if you can see, there are two sentences out here. No sooner had he entered the room. This is your first part. The second part is the lights went out. This is the second part. Understood? So now that we have got two parts out here, let's come back. Similarly, if this sentence has another sentence to it, added to it, if we say like, he is hardly here, okay, so we don't have to search for anything. But if we have another sentence, then remember, it has to come across with when. Fine? Okay. Hardly did he reach office when the boss fired him. Okay. So in that case, hardly, when. Okay. Next part, not only. So of course, everyone knows with not only, it has to be but also. But I want to add something to it. How? Remember that it is not always but also. It can also be written with something else. With but plus subject, we can also write to. Okay? So but plus subject plus to. Or it could be but plus sentence, and we would have as well. Fine? So remember, these are the three particles or three different cases that can come across with not only. Okay? Let's try with either. Of course, we know. If it is written across as either of the boys, so in that case, either is not acting as a conjunction. So we are not going to search for the other pair, right? The other part of the pair. But if either Ram dash Shyam, something like that, okay? So we know that either is joining out here, and that is why, remember in that case, it has to go across with or. Similarly, neither would go across with nor. Tell me about no sooner. What would I write with no sooner? So no sooner, if you look, there is ER out there. It's almost like some kind of comparison. And the comparing pair or the comparing agent in this case should be than. So it would be no sooner something than something. Let's come back to this. No sooner had he entered the room. So I saw that there was no sooner written across. So my first work would be that I just quickly finish the first part of the sentence and see what is there before the second part of the sentence. And what should be there? It should be than. So we see no sooner had he entered the room, this is the first part, but instead of than they have used when out here. Is when the right thing? No, it is not. So when part goes away. C part is the part which has the error. When should be written as than. So it would be written as than the lights went out. Easy? Right? Okay. Moving. Let's go to the next question. If I would have known, I would have acted differently. So, again, before doing the question, my question to you is, what type of sentence is this? So, you would say it is a conditional. Why would you call it conditional? Because when I see the action is not happening, but it is assumed that if it would have happened, something like that, right? If that happens, so we are only working on assumption, fine? So that's why this is called as conditional. And whenever we have a conditional sentence, so conditional sentence, there are three parts to that sentence, to that complete set. The first part is the conditional agent. The second part is the condition. So I'll simply say condition out here. And the third part is the conclusion, the outcome. Okay. If this would happen, then that would happen. Something like that. Okay. So we have got the conditional agent, we have got the condition, and we have got the conclusion. But what is the rule? The rule says the condition part can never be written with will, would. Okay? Or there is one another, that is shall. Will, would, or shall, we cannot use it. Why? Because when I say if that thing happens, when that thing would happen. So we are already talking about something which has not happened yet, which is not happening right now, which is going to happen in the future. So if it is happening in the future, the thing has to be written in what? So it does not need a future reference anymore, right? So that's why I do not need will, would, or shall. Let's come back to this. If is my conditional agent, which makes I would have known as my conditional sentence or the condition, right? If this is a condition, what is it that it can never have? It can never have would, okay? But because it is talking about past conditional, this would be written now across such as if I had known. Okay, right? So this assumption is complete. This is the condition. So instead of would have known, I would write, instead of even have, I have to remove have, I have to write had out here. If I had known, I would have acted differently. There is no conditional agent before I would have acted differently. Therefore, this part of the sentence can actually be written across in using will, would, shall, or something like that. So the error is in B part. Easy as that. Let's move ahead. Each of the players have been given a jersey by the sponsor. Now, this is again, let's see. Each, any, one, everyone, either, neither. Fine. Whenever these words come across with of, and after that we have got a noun or a pronoun, and then we have a verb. Let's see, is this actually like, is it the same structure or not? Let's see. Each, yes, each is written. After that, what is there? Of, yes, of is there. Then what do we have? We have got the players, which is the noun. So noun is here, and then it says have, which is a verb. So they are actually following the suit, right? They are in the sync, right? So let's see whether the sentence is right or wrong. Let's see. In such a case, what happens? Always remember the noun or pronoun, whatever is written after of, has to be in plural sense. Has to be plural in sense. While on the other hand, the verb has to be singular in sense. Has everyone understood? The verb would be singular, noun or pronoun would be plural. Each and every, they are already in singular form itself, right? So, thinking of that, keeping that in mind, let's go back and let's see whether it is working or not. Each of, okay, the players. Noun, it's a noun. What form it should be in? It should be in plural form, and that is what it is. It is in plural form. So, this part is correct. Have been, what is have? So, the alternate of have is has, where has is used with singular and have is used with plural, right? So, keeping that in mind, what should come out here? So, we have got the same structure, but the verb should be singular. So, therefore, have is wrong. The word should be has been. Easy? Let's move on. Oh, we didn't mark the part which is wrong, so B part is the one which has the error. Let's go to the sixth. He has been living in this city since 5 years without any break. He has been living in this city since 5 years without any break. What is going wrong out here? Okay, 5 years. What is this 5 years? 5 years means it is talking about quantity, yeah, or amount of time, right? But when we talk in terms of 5 years and before that we write since, what is since? So since is always used with a point of time. What is it? Point of time. Like what? Like we can say, I have been waiting for you since 5 a.m. Okay? So I said that I have been waiting for you since 5 a.m. What does it mean? It means it's talking about a point of time, and that thing, the waiting part, started from that point. Understood? But look at this. It says since 5 years. How can I do that? 5 years is not a point of time. It is amount of time. For such a case, we don't use since. The word is for. What is the word? The word is for. So the sentence would be, he has been living in this city for 5 years without any break. Understood? These questions, this type of question, especially this since and for, the difference, it is quite a favorite question for the teachers, the examiners. So never forget this rule. Let's move in. 7th, hardly had he reached the station than the train departed. Now, as you can see, this time you can actually do the question yourself. How is it possible? Can you check up? What did I see? I see hardly. When I see hardly, what do? We see whether it is a sentence with two parts. Let's see. Had he reached the station? This is the first part. What is the second part? It says the train departed. So there are two parts to it. So I can check the pair. With hardly, what was the pair we used? The pair is when, right? So coming back to it, C part is the error. We would use than. Instead of than, we would use when. Easy? So you can see, like, these questions, they automatically become easier for us. We can do more of them, and of course we can get more marks. The committee have decided to postpone the event. Now look at this word committee. What is it? It is called as collective noun. What is it called? It's called as collective noun. Now, whenever we talk about collective nouns, always remember there are two types. Okay? Two types of collective nouns are there. The first type of collective noun is they appear singular but sense is always plural. The sense is always plural, right? Like we have got what? We have got police and cattle. Okay, these kind of words. Police is chasing him, police are chasing him. Look at it. What did I say out here? I said police is are chasing him. If this is the sentence we have, look at it carefully. Police is written. What did I say? It's a collective noun. It appears singular. Appears singular means I cannot write polices. I cannot add s in police, right? But its sense. What is the sense? The whole sense. How do I see police? It might look singular, but it is plural. Therefore, I cannot use is, we have to use are. Police are chasing him. Understood? What is the second one? Second one is they appear singular but can be both singular or plural. Fine? Which means the word itself would look singular, but it can be both singular and plural in terms of senses, right? Let's see. Before I do this question, I'll give you an example. The jury were appointed. Fine. Second one. The jury is are divided in the case. Fine. Now let's see. The jury were appointed. Okay. Jury is a collective noun. We have got all the judges or the jurors and all that. So they are together. Yes, they might be together. Uh, are they fighting with each other? We are not getting it from the sentence. So by default, it might be that they are not. Are they doing the same thing? Yes, they all are getting appointed, right? Which means they are together, doing the same thing, and without any fight or differences. In such a case, it will always be treated as singular. So it would be the jury was appointed. Were would be removed. Second part, the jury is are divided in the case. So the jury is there, case is there, they are together. Yes, they are sitting together maybe. Okay. Uh, are they doing the same thing? Yes, of course. They are talking about the case. They are trying to find a solution to the case or something like that. Okay. Do they have any fight or differences? Yes, they have. It says the jury is are divided, which means the elements are not together. They are not together in terms of agreement, right? They are not agreeing to each other. So if they are not agreeing to each other, this collective noun which looks singular would be treated as plural. So therefore, the jury are divided in the case. Clear with this? Let's come back to this. The committee have decided to postpone the event. All you have to do is committee is made up of what? Members. Are the members together? Yes, they are. Are they doing the same thing? Yes, they are trying to take a decision. Okay. Are they fighting among each other? No. Why? Because they have given a decision. For giving a decision, it means that they must be together, right? They must be mutually agreeing to it, and therefore, have is not the right thought process. The answer is B part is the part that has the error. Have would be removed. Instead, it should be has. It should be has. Fine. Let's go to the next one. She prefers coffee than tea. Now, this is one question that has been like, it has been after me so many times, like in classes, whether online, offline, wherever I have been, people have always been asking, like, why can't we say this? She prefers coffee than tea, right? So, there is a basic rule. Okay. What is that rule? All the IOR ending words, right? IOR ending words. What are IOR ending words? Superior, junior, right? I'll just write one so that you remember. Junior, right? This thing. Then we have got some words other than this, not IOR, but still we have got, like we have got elder. We never say elder than. We always say elder to, right? Then what do we have? Similarly, we have got prefer. Okay. So whenever you have got prefer, what is the thought process you have to keep? So when you have prefer, always remember with these things, we have to use to talk about comparison. Okay. Not even over, it has to be to. So the answer has to be she prefers coffee than tea. Sorry, the answer will be coffee to tea. Easy. So I not only taught you the rule, but I also tried to uh, correct your colloquial, right? Okay, last question. The last question for the day. He suggested that she goes home early. He suggested that she goes home early. What do I do out here? What type of sentence is this? Anyone? No? Now, this is a very special case. Okay? This might be called as an optative sentence, or this might be called as a subjunctive. Majorly not an optative. Optative is more of blessing and wishes and all that. Subjunctive sentences. It is basically this thing. If I say she goes home early, it means I'm asserting, I'm declaring that this is what happens. But this is something not happens. This is something being suggested that it might happen, something like that, right? In such a case, always remember, we cannot write it in present sense, okay? I'll give you an example. We say, may God bless you. Yeah, same. Now this bless, as per God, because there is only one God, it is a singular thing, so therefore it should be God blesses you, something like that. But because this may is written out here and this is an optative sentence, we would say may God bless you. That es part, that extra part will not be written. Let's try this. But the same thing, I could also write God bless you. Even this is correct. Why? Because this may part, it is something which is implicated, right? It might be there, it might not be there, but it would mean the same thing. So therefore, may part is like, you can say it, it's optional, right? So this is what it is. He suggested that she goes home early. In this case, I have to show that it is in a subjunctive mood. It is something which is not happening, but it is just being hoped for or something like that, right? So that's why we do not write goes, we write go. So it would be go written out here, okay? So the answer will be, he suggested that she go home early. Kind of tricky, yes, of course. But you stay with me and we are going to go across and have more of such sentences. And believe me when I say that I guarantee you that if you go through this kind of a thought process and you cover all these classes with me, you are never going to get wrong in your errors, right? Take care then. Until next time, keep practicing.